the mountaintop, walk on water. I got power, feel so royal. 1 second, I'ma strike for you.
I'm going to show you how I weather up these ties, and I like to pre-stain them basically after I get them laid out, so I can get a color separation with the tie plates once I get them on. For staining them, I use Railroad Tie Brown. This is polyscale acrylic, black leather dye, which I mix with isopropyl alcohol into a little mix of dye. Basically, I'm not really painting them with the paint. I am using the paint really thinned out with this black dye and isopropyl alcohol to get a good base coat, nice warm base coat. After I paint them and they dry, I'll sand them a little bit with a little sponge sander or some kind of sandpaper, and I like to hit them with a wire brush just to kind of put some distress in them, and then stain them again with the black dye. So I'll just show you the process. Got some of the Railroad Tie Brown here and some of the black shoe dye mixed with alcohol, and I'm just going to start hitting all my ties. I want to get the sides, the tops, and I want to keep it kind of thin. I don't want this to go on like a really thick black or a brown paint. And if it looks like it's getting too thick, I'll just dip it in a little more of the black dye and isopropyl alcohol mix to thin it out a little. I'll let it here to dry, and then we'll work on it some more once it's dry. This turnout's dried for about 15 minutes. It doesn't take real long. Alcohol evaporates pretty quickly. It's a little wet on the in between, but I think the ties are nice and dry. I'm going to hit them with a little sandpaper or a sanding sponge. And I like to use a little wire brush. Alright, so let's see, I just took a little bit of the paint and the stain off, and it's hard to show the color that it turns out, but you can see that it basically some of the paint's removed throughout it. After doing that, I'm going to get my leather dye and alcohol combo again and just run it over the ties. I'll let the alcohol drip off this and dry out, and I might come back, sand it some more, distress it some more, add some more dye. Like I said, the more layers, generally the better and more convincing you can make something. So we'll let that dry.